Captain Marvel, 2019, synopsis. In 1995, on the Kree Empire's capital planet of Hala, Hero, and Starforce Part Vers experiences repeating bad dreams, including a more established lady. Far off Rog, her guide, an officer cautions her to control her capacities while the Supreme Intelligence, natural computerized reasoning, who goes about as the leader of the Kree, urges all her feelings within proper limits. While working with True Ronin the Accuser to safeguard a secret agent, Vers is kidnapped and exposed to a memory test by a gathering of Skrulls, outsider shapeshifters with whom the Kree Empire is at war. Vers' getaway and, subsequent to leaving the Skrulls' boat in a departure unit, crash lands on Earth. Her presence draws in the consideration of S.H.I.E.L.D. specialists Nick Fury and Phil Coulson, whose examination is hindered by a Skrull assault. In the following pursuit, Vers recuperates a gem containing her recollections and Fury kills a Skrull imitating Coulson. Rage later meets and consents to work with Vers, while Skrull leader Talos masks himself as S.H.I.E.L.D. usable Keller. Utilizing Fury's exceptional status, Vers learns she was a pilot who is ventured to have passed on 6 years sooner while testing a test lightspeed motor planned by researcher Wendy Lawson, who she perceives as the lady from her bad dreams. The two get away later. Keller goes up against them, with Lawson's feline goose hiding away, and pilot a little freight stream to Louisiana. A gathering with fellow pilot Maria Rambeau and her young little girl Monica uncovers Vers' genuine name as Carol Danvers. Talos, who had followed her, shows up and requests to talk. Utilizing the Discovery recorder of Lawson's crashed plane, Danvers learns an outsider spaceship had killed it, and she currently recollects Jan Rog killing Lawson, as well as Lawson's advance notice that the test motor's energy center must be obliterated to keep it from some unacceptable hands. Vers shot it and was trapped in a resulting blast, with her body engrossing the energy. Far off Rog brought the amnesiac, Vers, the excess piece of Danvers, on her messed-up canine tag, to Hala. Talos makes sense of the Skrulls are just displaced people, and Lawson's motor was to assist them with getting away past Kree reach. Utilizing facilitates Lawson had given Danvers, she, alongside Fury, Monica, and Goose, who for reasons unknown panics Talos, fly their Skrull-altered freight stream to a shrouded transport in the Circle. There they find the wellspring of the energy center's power, the Tesseract, and some Skrull exiles, including Talos' mate and youngster. Far off Rog's Starforce, having followed them, catches Danvers and spots her in VR before the Supreme Intelligence. Rankled at being utilized, Danvers retaliates and finds that a Kree embed that purportedly gave her Kree powers was rather restricting them. Getting to her full power, Danvers' getaway gives the Tesseract to Fury for protection, and fights the Starforce to give Rambeau time to fly herself, Fury, and the Skrulls to Earth, alongside Goose, who isn't a feline however an outsider known as a flurkin, that can grow strong arms and whose inner parts are a pocket aspect, where the Tesseract is put. Rambeau destroys a chasing after Minerva. Danvers pursues a getting away from Jan Rog, and finds the degree of her powers, including flight. She without any help annihilates numerous long-range rockets that Ronin, brought in by Jan Rog, has terminated at Earth, and powers Ronin's powers to withdraw. On Earth, Danvers rapidly overcomes Jan Rog, and sends him back to Hala with advance notice to the Supreme Intelligence. Danvers consents to assist the Skrulls with finding a new homeworld, giving Fury an adjusted pager with which to reach her in a crisis. Wrath later drafts a proposition for a drive, changing the name after observing a photograph, with Danvers' old call indication of Vindicator. Rundowns song. Danvers becomes one of the universe's most impressive saints when Earth is trapped in a cosmic conflict between two extraterrestrial societies. Subsequent to crashing a test airplane, Air Force pilot Carol Danvers is found by the Kree and prepared as an individual from the tip-top Starforce military under the order of her tutor Jan Rog. After 6 years, in the wake of disappearing to Earth while enduring an onslaught by the Skrulls, Danvers starts to find there's another side to her past. With assistance from S.H.I.E.L.D. specialist Nick Fury, they set off to unwind reality. Captain Marvel is a 2019 American superhuman film in light of Marvel Comics, highlighting the person Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. Created by Marvel Studios and circulated by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is the 21st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. The movie was composed and coordinated by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, with Geneva Robertson Dworet additionally adding to the screenplay. Brie Larson stars as Carol Danvers, close by Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Jaimin Hansu, Lee Pace, Lashana Lynch, Gemma Chan, Annette Bening, Clark Gregg, and Jude Law. Set in 1995, the story follows Danvers as she becomes Captain Marvel after Earth is trapped in the focal point of a cosmic struggle between two outsider developments. Improvement of the film started by May 2013. It was authoritatively declared in October 2014 as Marvel Studios' first female-drove superhuman film. Nicole Perlman and Meg LaFave were employed to compose the film the next April in the wake of submitting Separate Assumes the Personality and acquired components from Roy Thomas's 1971 Kree-Skrull War comic book storyline. Larson was reported as Danvers at the 2016 San Diego Comic-Con, with Boden and Fleck employed to coordinate in April 2017. Robertson Dworet was before long recruited to recompose the content, with the remainder of the cast added by the beginning of recording. Area shooting started in January 2018, with head photography beginning that March in California and finishing up in Louisiana in July 2018. A few entertainers repeat their jobs from past MCU films in Captain Marvel, including Jackson and Gregg, who were carefully dematured in after creation to mirror the film's 1990s setting. Captain Marvel debuted in London on February 27, 2019, and was dramatically delivered in the United States on March 8, as a component of Phase 3 of the MCU. The film netted more than $1.1 billion around the world, making it the primary female-drove hero film to pass the billion-dollar mark. It turned into the fifth most elevated earning film of 2019, and was the 23rd most noteworthy netting film ever during its dramatic run. The film got acclaim for the exhibitions of the cast, especially that of Larson. A spin-off, The Marvels, is planned for discharge on February 17, 2023. Plot: in 1995, on the Kree Empire's capital planet of Hala, Starforce Part Vers experiences amnesia and repeating bad dreams, including a more seasoned lady. Far-off Rog, her tutor and officer, trains Vers to control her capacities, while the Supreme Intelligence, the man-made brainpower that manages the Kree, urges all her feelings under tight restraints. During a mission to save a secret usable invading a gathering of Skrulls, outsider shapeshifters with whom the Kree are at war, Vers is caught by Skrull Administrator Talos. A test of Vers' recollections drives them to Earth. Vers escapes and crash-lands in Los Angeles. Her presence draws in S.H.I.E.L.D. specialists Nick Fury and Phil Coulson, whose examination is hindered by a Skrull assault. Vers recuperates a precious stone containing her extricated recollections in the resulting pursuit, while Fury kills a Skrull imitating Coulson. Talos, masked as Fury's manager Keller, orders Fury to work with Vers and watch her. Utilizing her separated recollections, Vers and Fury go to the Project Pegasus establishment at a U.S. aviation-based armed forces base. They find that Vers was a pilot ventured to have kicked the bucket in 1989 while testing a test light-speed motor planned by Dr. Wendy Lawson, whom Vers perceives as the lady from her bad dreams. Wrath illuminates S.H.I.E.L.D. of their area, and a group shows up. Wrath understands that Keller is Talos, and assists Vers with getting away in a stream with Lawson's stowaway feline goose. They fly to Louisiana to meet previous pilot Maria Rambeau, the last individual to see Vers and Lawson alive. Rambeau and her girl Monica uncover that Vers is Carol Danvers, who was once similar to family to them. Talos, showing up unarmed, makes sense of that the Skrulls are outcasts looking for another home, and that Lawson was Mar-Vell, a rebel Kree researcher helping them. Talos plays a recuperated black box recording from Lawson's fly, inciting Danvers to recollect the accident. Jan Rog killed Marvel to keep her from obliterating the motor before the Kree could recuperate it. Annihilating the motor herself, Danvers retained the energy from the resulting blast, acquiring powers yet losing her memory. Danvers, Talos, Fury, and Rambeau find Lawson's shrouded lab circling Earth, where Lawson concealed a few Skrulls, including Talos' family, and the Tesseract, the power wellspring of Lawson's motor. There, Danvers is caught by Starforce and communicates with the Supreme Intelligence. Danvers eliminates the Kree embed that smothered her powers during their experience, permitting her to contact her maximum capacity. In the ensuing fight, Fury recovers Goose, who is uncovered to be an outsider Flurkin. Goose swallows the Tesseract and scratches Fury, blinding his left eye. Danvers annihilates a Kree plane, compelling Kree official Ronan the Accuser and his unit to withdraw. Danvers overwhelms Jan Rog and sends him to Hala with an advance notice for the Supreme Intelligence. She then, at that point, withdraws to assist the Skrulls with finding a new homeworld, passing on Fury a changed pager to reach her in a crisis. Anger drafts a drive to find legends like Danvers, naming it after her Air Force call sign, Vindicator. In a mid-credits scene, set in 2018, the actuated is being checked by the Avengers when Danvers seems searching for Fury. In a post-credits scene, Goose moves onto Fury's work area and heaves the Tesseract. Discharge. Lashana Lynch with aviators of the 311th Fighter Squadron at the Hollywood debut of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel debuted in London on February 27, 2019, and in Hollywood on March 4. The Hollywood debut incorporated a flyover by the United States Air Force Thunderbirds out of appreciation for Thunderbirds pilot Major Stephen Delbono, who talked with Larson on the film prior to kicking the bucket in a preparation mishap in April 2018. The film was delivered in IMAX and 3D, in the United States on March 8, harmonizing with International Women's Day. It was initially booked for discharge on July 6, 2018, yet in February 2015 it was moved to November 2, 2018, to account for Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, and in October 2015 it was pushed to its last March 2019 date for Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. The film's delivery in Pakistan was postponed for quite some time. At that point, Disney's South Asia division, which is settled in India, had not given Pakistan the privileges to appropriate it. Reporters online conjectured that this was expected to progressing Indo-Pakistani pressures. However, Disney South Asia head Nadeem